Hi guys, welcome to Cinema Express. Today I have with me Avinash Tiwary, Paoli, Parambrata, and we're going to talk about the new Netflix film Bulbbul. It's a period horror, beautiful film set in Bengal. And begin with to all three of you, honestly, one thing that's very striking about the film is that despite the horror story around the edges, it's beautifully told via the characters and very much in the emotions and journey of both the titular character as well as everyone around her. I want to know what did you guys like most? When this idea came to you, and just also the story and the design. What did you guys like most?
I think to begin with, let us just put it out that we do not prefer to call it a horror film. I think
Right,
Netflix has
right,
also put it out like a supernatural
hmm,
thriller.
hmm,
So it's not a
right,
horror film by the definition of it,
right,
uh, and that is what I think makes it very exciting. The space in which the film has been taken to, it's a unique mix, a unique spin-off
huh,
on, on one hand you have folklore, on the other hand you have that
yeah,
folklore being spun into uh, revealing something or telling you something which is extremely relevant even today.
right, right,
So it's a folklore taken, seen in context, but sort of immortalized through the through what it tries to say at the end, and with very
right,
very nuanced characters, and also at a time when it is happening because it is set in the 19th
hmm,
centuries, 1880s or something.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
at that point in time, while you are having the Renaissance in Bengal on one hand,
yeah,
uh, you're also having in the remote villages you're having such practices being practiced, the kinds that we get to see actually. So
right.
it's a very conflicting time. So that also is brought about very nicely. I think that is what attracts as a space, as a genre defying genre. That is what
Sure.
is most about the film, I feel. Yeah.
Wonderful. Right. For the others, Pauli, for you, what got you interested in this idea? Yeah.
Yeah, so the most interesting factor is like Bulbul is a folklore. It's
Yeah.
based on
Yes.
that, and it's set in the late 19th century in Bengal. And as a kid, I grew up like I was fascinated with this folk tales, this fairy tales,
Right.
and this film deals with that, and also it deals with the certain issues of the then
Yes.
existing this misogynistic society and the troubles
Right.
and the problems, and it talks about women empowerment and
Yes.
how this dynamics of the characters changes. So this is a very interesting space, and for me, and for the first time, I was also like exploring this the supernatural thriller
Yes.
space, and
Right.
yeah, and as it comes, this is about the story and this is about the concept. And as far as for my character goes, Vinodini, I love the name
Yeah.
Vinodini. Somehow it resonates
Right.
with me. It's because it's one of my favorite characters written by Rabindranath Tagore.
Right.
So these
Sure.
have been there for many years with me. So suddenly when I got to know for the first time my character's name is Vinodini, it just
Uh,
like it was like,
right.
oh my
Right.
god, okay. So eventually it came to me, but in a different form, in a different film.
Right.
So
Right. In a different space. Yes.
that was a beautiful, yeah. That's something personal for me. And when it comes to the character, like just I felt sad for her. I really felt sad
Right.
for her. Like what she couldn't do, what she could have done,
Yeah.
just because of the typical structural social norms which she was
Right.
forced to believe in. Like you are not the badi bahu, so you don't have the power to change things around you. You
Right.
don't have that thing within you. So it's about perceptions, how like how it corrupts a child's mind, and
Yes.
she remained a child throughout her life. She didn't get an opportunity to grow at all, and I felt sad
Right.
for her. She is actually the victim and the most tragic character
Hmm.
in the film. So I thought of
Right.
that's why I thought of playing her. Yeah.
Right. Avinash, this is a very exciting space for you. A lot of your co-stars are Bengali. They know this world. They've grown up with these stories, this world. For you to play, this yarn of a Zamindar family, what we call the billet going law student. Were you excited about that? Also understanding and being culturally true to the period that you're depicting. And how did you go about it?
Uh, yes, all the things that you said, these are definitely things that excited me. Uh,
Right.
uh, I think personally, Anvita was so clear of how everything is to be. I really didn't have to put in that kind of, to
Right,
be very honest. She just brought everything in front of me, and I just had to adapt to it. It's also because of the hard work that she put in over all these years, that she was with the film, and how she saw it,
right,
and the clarity that she had. It just became, I just had to step in and try and absorb as much as I can from her. And if I go Ori, she could just set the right
right,
direction, set me up right. So it was a constant help from them. Considering that these guys were always around, it's always, just the vibe kind of starts helping you, because it's,
right,
you are
right,
there, you're eating the food,
right,
you're with people, you're
right,
having the conversations about them,
right,
and about the culture. It's slowly, definitely. I mean, any man who's receptive will start
hmm,
absorbing it. So yeah, I don't think I have done much. I've just been, absorbent.
right,
I've just been ready to receive, and all these people have really helped us develop into what we
right,
have in the film.
right. Right. Guys, I must say this, last couple of years we've been observing, how folklore, how supernatural stories, they have been beautifully translated into films that also help you investigate, structures, conditions. Parambrata was part of Pari, Avinash was in Ghost Stories, that, even like Devaka's film and bunch of stuff. We're getting to explore, use supernatural and folklore ideas to comment on present society, like Paoli mentioned, with how women empowerment being there, how the victimization of children being there. What do you think is very special about this genre that's emerging, and so uniquely Indian as well about that? Yeah.
I think it lets you go wild. It allows you to use your wild imagination to comment on things that you
Hmm.
want to, but otherwise wouldn't really be able to, or even if you are commenting on them like realistically, out of
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
genre,
Hmm.
besides using such folklores or such fantasy spaces, if you are trying to comment on those things, then they may come across as didactic or pedantic.
Right.
They may sound
Right.
like they may sound like preachy, but when the moment you are getting into this space, you are having the freedom of engaging the audience through a very very gripping tale, through a very very a world, a very different world, a very new world, which is where you can let your imagination run wild at the same time, drive your point home. I think that's basically what works so well in this
Right.
genre.
Right. Anyone else would like to add anything? Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I just agree to what he said. Like,
Hmm.
if you are
Hmm.
just see, being an artist, like we can only
Yeah.
tell like about the social issues or whatever in the present
Hmm.
current situation through a story, through storytelling, through the
Right.
characters
Right.
that we play. That's what I think I can do as an artist from my end, and that makes it much more engaging and interesting for even like
Right.
kids across all age group.
Right.
They like we just example of like Satyajit Ray's Gupika and
Yes.
Baghabai.
Yes. Yes.
It's a whoever it was, it's a political film, but we
Yeah.
like the story, we love the characters. So that's how you put across all the social issues through cinema
Right.
that
Right.
reaches mass.
Right.
I think that's a very
Right.
interesting way of doing it.
Sure, sure. And but now I got to ask this fun bit. Just tell me about the experience of shooting in Bawali Rajbari, and that just being there, and in that majestic structure, and it's captured beautifully, and from the corridors to the lawn to all of it, and that grandeur, and just how was it, and also tell me, when you're doing a period film, of course we see that you guys are transported in another time, but of course you guys have phones, you guys have cameras, you're constantly reminded you're in this in the present. So, does it ever happen that while shooting a period scene, there's a sense of even actors get transported to another world, even for a moment? Do you sometimes feel when the environment is too strong? Do you feel that you're there? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that whenever we're shooting for period pieces, be it whatever
Right.
language it is, I always wish for wormholes to open up. Those
Ah.
time warp
Ah.
wormholes,
Ah.
so that we can just go
Right.
through them. I just come out
Right.
into that time actually. But sadly that has never happened. But I'm trying to work on that so that we can develop
Right.
warm-ups. Yeah.
Right. Avinash, for you, how was it just being in
I,
that
I
Rajbari
definitely want to
restaurant?
mention. I definitely want to talk about the food
Uh,
that I ate at Rajbari,
yeah, of course,
and
please.
that was amazing. I really had great
Right.
time eating the
Yeah.
food that I did. It's a beautiful place. It's
Right.
so for those who don't know and people like me who don't know
Right.
much about the place, but happen to go there. Uh, Rajbari is this place in a small village called
Yeah.
Bawali, and it's right in the center with nothing really around except
Right.
it's about 1.5 2 hours away from Kolkata. Uh, it's definitely a place that you should visit to get the cultural
Right.
essence of that place.
Right.
And
Right.
like I said, the food is
Right. You got to name
juicy.
It's
dishes.
very
You
beautifully
what
done
did
up
you like
like that.
most? You had fish. What did
Yeah,
you like most?
mera bhai fish, of course. I mean, you go
Uh,
to Bengal, you
right.
definitely eat fish.
Right.
That's like a given. I would be
Got
bad with names because my memory बहुत खराब है.
right.
But Anita would
Right.
really help me with this. So she would say, "तू ये खा, तू वो खा,
Uh,
आज तू ये order
uh,
कर." So I never had to
सरसों
decide
का
what I
मास.
because that's right, सरसों का मास. Because
right.
I
Right.
personally I find ordering food and playing music the most difficult things to do in my life.
Right.
And
Right.
Anvita just sorted it out for me. Every day's menu was
Right.
sorted out by her. ये आज ये
Right.
खाएगा, आज ये खाएगा.
Right. 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 And
Like
yeah.
surprising for me,
Hmm.
I stay in a city. I live in this city, but I
Hmm.
never shot
Hmm.
in Bawali Rajbari before this
Huh.
film. It was the first time I
Huh.
shot, and I had heard about this place, and
Huh.
like it's a beautiful Haveli,
Right.
beautiful place, and also like I heard like people can go and stay there, like if they give it out as a guest house, like not everywhere you
Right.
get to do that, not every shooting location, like
Right.
so
Right.
it's an interesting place to stay for a weekend, and it's like it's chilling, it's nice, and it's a little
Right.
away from the main city, so
Yeah.
that way, and good food, and yeah, and especially with
Wonderful.
good
Also,
company. It
there's a
was an
riverfront, right?
incredible team.
Right.
I
Yes,
said there was a
Avinash. Yeah.
riverfront.
Ah.
I said there was a riverfront close to the Rajbari, and so those who
Oh
can
yeah,
actually
yeah,
go
yeah,
there as
yeah.
well. This is like a
Yeah,
Right.
so
yeah.
a small
Right.
holiday, kind of 2 to 3 days holiday space,
Right.
it's nice,
Right.
I'd say.
Right. And of course, beyond the production design, even the costume work, I was very impressed with. The kind of those traditional, beautiful from the saris to how the men were dressed. Even Satya's character, when he comes back, his dressing style, capturing that London going Bengali. Even with Dr. Sudeep, what he was wearing. A little bit about
No,
this. That.
I don't have much to claim for in that department because Anvita made me wear grey throughout the
Right.
film.
Throughout
That is
the
my only color. Grey kurta and grey dhoti, and that is all that I
right.
got to wear.
Somehow about
Huh.
this period films, I love doing them because I get an opportunity to wear those silk saris, that like heavy
Right.
embroidered ones, and
Right.
especially when you're playing a bahu of a zamindar family, so
Yes.
obviously, and the character is
Right.
such that she loved her reshams, her jewels, her
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
like and so at times she used to wear much more than what was required. So that was like, yeah, I got to dress up
Right.
actually. After long, like in a film. So
Right. Right.
that way it was
Right.
interesting. Yeah.
Avinash, for you, the overcoats, you also get to wield a
I
wonderful that old musket. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Uh,
The thing was, I saw these clothes and I was like, "यार ये इतने खूबसूरत हैं, will I be able to carry them off?" Because I just
right.
find myself so weird when I wear clothes and to present them well. But
Huh.
it's so. I think anyone who would wear those clothes that Anvita got designed would look super, and they've just been so nicely set to time. They look so beautiful. I think Veera and Anvita both need to be
Yeah.
acknowledged for it.
Right.
They have done a fantastic job for the costumes. Yes.
Right. Right.
I mean,
And
Veera and the
yeah.
entire team of the costume team has done a brilliant job, and they were so particular about everything. Whether even if you have a
Hmm.
crease which is not required, they will press it immediately. So that was,
Right.
they were always like, yeah,
Right.
ready for whatever required to be done. Yeah.
Pauli, I wanted to ask you this. There's a very striking scene in the film. Without spoiling anything, where Binodini and is there for Bulbul, and they're talking, and she reveals sort of through words. You get a sense of her entire life, and you write
Hmm.
see a female relationship that way. When initially you think that there's portrayal of the kind of, like you said, it's the most tragic character. Although you initially you think
Yeah.
that wherever this is going, it's a tragic character. You talk about that. This is very striking about the film, how
She
that was done.
in that particular scene which we are talking about, she realized, Vinodini realized. Of course, I've told you about the character graph and how
Yes,
she
yes,
felt and how
yes,
she was
yes.
victimized. Yeah. So she, for the first time, felt like whatever was taught to her, this girl, Bulbul, she also need to tell her
Hmm,
that, just you need to
hmm,
abide by the rules. You can't just cross and
hmm,
do whatever you want to do, because this is a male
hmm.
dominated society. Even this,
Right,
like all those beliefs that she grew up with, she wanted to just, tell Bulbul about that, and so that her life also, she wanted Bulbul's life also to be organized, to be like,
right,
she wanted Bulbul to be safe at the end of the day. Though they had, initially, like, she definitely, like, again, that tag of badi bahu she knew that she didn't have,
right,
so she envied Bulbul, for of course she did, but deep down, she seeked for love. She
hmm,
wanted love.
hmm,
She also
hmm.
wanted good for others. It's not like
Right,
she was jealous of everybody. She knew that she was
right,
not the destiny's child. But that
right,
doesn't change the fact that if Bulbul is a Destiny's Child, if Bulbul is a privileged one, but she didn't want her to suffer. She, at the same time, she wanted Bulbul that this is the way, this is a woman should
right,
behave. This is, you need to go on accepting and keep quiet. Keep on
right,
accepting and keep quiet. Everything will be fine.
right,
So that's,
right.
how our grandmothers or our mothers
Hmm,
like try to pacify
hmm.
and console us when we are like, she took charge of that in that particular
Right,
scene, and that
right,
somehow changes the entire dynamic of the character of Binodini and Bulbul and their
right,
relationship.
right. Right. Wonderful, guys. I had a great time talking to you, and I quite enjoyed the film also. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
All
much.
the
Thank
best
Thank you.
for the
you.
release of Bulbul. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Shilajit.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.